Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is the look I created today. I wanted to do a full look using only drugstore products so that way it's more affordable. I never come on here without any type of makeup. I usually have my eyebrows and primer on already. But since I'm showing you the drugstore products I use, I'm letting you know that this is something that I actually like and that it actually works. For eyebrows, we're talking about the COVERGIRL Ultrafine Brow Pencil. I love this eyebrow pencil because to me it is comparable to the Anastasia Brow Wiz and it's just a fraction of the cost. They have a few shades available that I think a lot of skin tones can use. As you can see, it's helping my eyebrows go from very thin and sparse to full looking quite easily. I also have tried the NYX eyebrow gel that comes in a squeezy tube and I used to love it because it's waterproof. However, it dries up really bad before I can even use half of the product in the tube. For eyeshadow primer, I've been using this one for a few months and I actually love it. It's the Revolution Pro Eye Elements Central Eye Primer. Press it and blend it all over your eyelid with your finger. If you need to get rid of the creases, you can do it with a little sponge. But honestly, a little goes a long way. If you're cutting the crease, I also recommend the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the lightest shade or whatever shade you want to use. Or the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer for cut crease purposes only, not as an actual base. For eyeshadows, I like ColourPop, which is an affordable brand that you can get from Ulta or online. I also like BH Cosmetics. If you know of any other eyeshadows you like from the drugstore, let me know. I'll definitely try those out. But today on my eyes, we'll be using ColourPop, and I'm just using 3 eyeshadows. The one I use under my eyebrow as a base is Hear Me Out. To smoke out the 2/3 of my eyes, I'm using Conjure Up. It's this matte green, almost emerald green eyeshadow. And as you can see, I'm just building it up and then blending it. And it blends out super nicely. A little goes a long way. And you can definitely deepen this color as much as you like. Another type of eye primer that I love from the drugstore is the NYX Glitter Primer. I know it says glitter primers, but don't think that you only have to use it for glitter. I love using this to make my shimmery eyeshadows last all day and they don't budge. This whole look was done with 3 eyeshadows. Can you believe that? I think it's the least I've used in any of my videos so far. A drugstore pencil eyeliner that I love is the Milani Stay Put Waterproof Eyeliner. It's in 01 Linked on Black. But honestly, if they have more colors, I'm going to be getting them because I've been using this for a few months and I absolutely love it. It is actually waterproof, so you need a makeup remover that says for waterproof products on it to get it all the way off. And for liquid liners, I've tried a few drugstore ones, but I always end up repurchasing the NYX matte liquid liner because it's just so easy to use and I love the way the product works. If you like glitter liners, I also recommend the NYX Glitter Goals eyeliners because they're affordable, and the LA Girl Shockwave neon eyeliners. They're pencil liners, but they come in neon colors. They are pretty pigmented. Since they're neon or have certain pigments in them, they might make your eyes a little itchy, but definitely worth a try because they're super affordable. I know I'm using concealer to clean this up. I'm going to talk about those in just a minute. First, we're going to talk about lashes. So from the drugstore, I love the Kiss lashes. They have a couture line. Those are actually very fluttery and very nicely designed. I highly recommend those. And I also like the LA Colors 3D Faux Mink lashes. The purple packaging is my favorite style so far. And I also like the Ardell Wispies. For mascara, Essence has some pretty good ones. I like to use their waterproof Princess mascara. And the other one is called Get Big Lashes. It's also by Essence. It says it's volume boosting, and I like the waterproof one. I always give waterproof mascaras. To prime my face, I like to use the Wet n Wild, their Photo Focus Cucumber 3-in-1 Primer Water. I do feel like it helps the foundation blend out and apply nicer. And I also like their Wet n Wild Primer Serum. Before we get into regular concealers, I just want to point out that if you need correctors, LA Girl has some Pro Conceal correctors. I prefer their correctors because they're super affordable. For my skin tone, I use the Peach corrector that is GC994. It's the lighter shade, and they also have an orange corrector for deeper skin tones or darker spots. I use it because I get a lot of blue and purple shades under my eyes in my inner corners, and when I have dark spots on my face because of acne. For drugstore foundation, I've been using the Maybelline Fit Me. I like the Dewy and Smooth and also the Matte and Poreless. Definitely recommend that one. It's been a go-to for many years. The one I've been trying for a few months as well, since last year I want to say, is the Rimmel Long Lasting 25-Hour Breathable Long Wear Foundation. This was also found by a recommendation from Ben and Rose on Instagram, and I do like it. I think if you have a little bit more normal skin, you'll love it. I have dry combination skin, but I still love it. I won't talk too much about the tools I'm using to apply my makeup today, but I'll look into some affordable brushes and sponges and tools to use. That way I can make a list of those as well. Now for concealers, I have been liking the Maybelline concealers. Those are my go-to when my skin's super dry, like in the winter time. When I want a little bit more coverage, I do like the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, which I'm using today. And I also like the CoverGirl concealers, but you just have to be careful on picking your shade because they can run a little too light or too pink. Those three are very good, affordable brands. For bronzing and contouring, today I'm using the e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette. This is such an amazing drugstore palette to cream contour because it's super nice on the shades and the texture of the product. I also like the concealers from e.l.f. the hydrating one and Maybelline. I also use those to bronze and contour. And for powders, I do like the Physician Formula Butter Bronzers. I also recommend the Makeup Obsession palette. The powders in this palette are super nice. And I also like the Wet n Wild Mega Glow contouring palette in Dulce de Leche for lighter skin tones. And my all-time favorite, a NYX High Definition Blush in the shade Taupe to contour as well. To set all over my face, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I'm going with a light amount all over the face, except under the eyes. I'm just going to tap some excess on it. Then I'm going to run my brush over my face with the number 7 pressed powder. It's the Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Translucent Finishing Powder. This one's a little bit softer, so I like to use it under the eyes with a little brush. And then just blend it all over my face a little bit. Even though I applied 2 powders on my face, I used a minimal amount of them, and these powders are super nice. I know I keep saying that, so take a shot every time I say super nice, but I actually mean it. These are products I've been loving and constantly using. For the actual bronzer and contour I'm using today for powders, I'm using the Makeup Obsession Give Me Some Sun palette I was talking about. And I'm blending shade Buff from the palette and my NYX Taupe blush. And this is going to add some contours in the hollows of my face. And then to go over that with actual bronzer, I'm going to use the same Makeup Obsessions palette, the shade Raise on the right. And it's a soft bronzer shade that's easy to blend out. For drugstore highlight, I've been using this for a few months and I honestly love it. It's the Wet n Wild I'm So Lit Loose Highlighting Powder. It's such a large amount of product and you honestly don't need to apply that much on your face. Quick mentions for highlighters, but I also like the Revlon Skin Lights, and I also like the Physician Formula Butter Highlighters and the NYX Dual Chromatic Illuminating Powders. For lips, I have a lot of recommendations, so I'll be posting the pictures. But before I do that, let me just quickly mention the setting sprays that I love that I'm going to be using. It's the Catrice Prime and Fine Multi-Talent Fixing Spray. It's amazing for a natural finish. And the NYX Matte Setting Spray. That one is long lasting on your makeup. For lips, for liners, I like the brand LA Girl, NYX, and ColourPop. For lipsticks, the Carroty one, which I'm using today. The Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink are some of my favorite formulas. The Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuits, the High Shine and the matte ones I love. Also the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams and the Liquid Suede from NYX. I also like the Milani Amore Matte Liquid Lipsticks. I know that was a lot of products and I didn't use them all today, but those are all ones that I run to for drugstore that I've tried and tested and actually used. This is the finished look. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come watch it. Please make sure you're subscribed so you can see my next video and share. See you on my next video.